about that.
I just want to jump in to build off what Jordan said. And this is something that, like, as someone who's refed, competed in a lot of different sports, I think is a really important thing to bring up, especially not just for like people competing at worlds or looking to become world champions, but for your average guy competing at the gym or someone who wants to be a competitor. Different tournament formats select for different things. So when we have these single elimination tournaments, you're looking for who was the best on that day in that given bracket, who matched up the best with their opponents, not knowing who you would face. Things like super fights are looking for who was able to prep for that one specific matchup better and perform better on the day. Then you get into other sports that have things like best of 7 series. I'm looking for who's the better athlete or team over a given stretch of matches. It's really important for people to understand that just because you lose in a tournament doesn't mean the guy who beat you is necessarily better than you or always going to be better than you, or there's no way in which you beat him. It's just that for that given day, on that given tournament, that given format, he was better than you. You could go back in a different format and win. I mean, I've seen a lot now, speaking just of like reffing the last couple of weekends of round robin tournaments, guys lose one match early in the tournament and they end up winning the division because they win their next 4, whereas the guy who beat them went 2-2 or whatever total. So if it was single elimination, yeah, you lose in the first round, no medal for you, sucks, buddy. But just because of the format of the tournament, you know, that's not testing for who's the better, just winning matches, not losing, making it to the finals. It's who's better against everyone in the division. And that guy, you know, maybe he has a style where he takes a lot of risks and he wins a lot, but sometimes he's going to get punished for it. Well, that's not penalized as hard in a round robin format. So it's important for people who are competing, like, just because you lose in a tournament, don't get discouraged and say like, oh, that guy's better than me, I'll never be able to beat him. Just understand that, like, he might have had a great day. Like, that might have been the day he woke up and the stars aligned for this guy. He had the best day of his life. And it might have been a day you didn't feel great. That doesn't mean that every time you're going to compete against him, you're going to lose, or in every format you're going to lose. Even rule sets change things. You know, IBJJF has its advantages. ADCC has its no points period. All these rule sets are different, and sub only is another thing. Like, don't get discouraged because you lost, and don't think that someone's necessarily better than you because they beat you in a given format. You know, these things have to play out over time, and it's just one match on one day.
Yeah, and just to expand on your point, I think like one thing that happens commonly is someone loses to like the gold medal winner. They always take like a bit of a moral victory, and sometimes it can be an excuse like, oh, you know, I got matched up against the first place guy, and you know, I could have done this and that. But sometimes that is true. Sometimes the second best guy does lose to the first place guy first round and does not make it onto the podium, and he could have beat everyone else on that podium, or maybe he could beat the other dude in the finals. So like, it's just reality, and not something we can really fix. Like at the 7 series, like a 7-game series is like definitely a way to do it, but it'd be tough to do in jiu-jitsu. But yeah, I agree with your point that just because you got beat doesn't mean that the person's better than you or you can't beat them. Not that you should like deflect and like not take ownership and you know, make excuses for yourself. At the same time, you know, just get better, make sure you beat them next time. It's like everyone can be beaten. Never put anyone on the pedestal ever. And that's always been my mentality. You know, like if someone ever beat me either in tournament or the gym, I just think like, yeah, you got me now, but I'm going to get you later. And like in the future, and you're not gonna be able to do anything to me, you know, at that point. Just like, you can't get down on yourself. You got to use that feeling like to motivate you to never feel that way again. This is like something I like to always talk about. Like, if you feel bad about something, do everything you can to never feel that way again. Like, feeling shitty sucks, right? So if you lose, get better, you know, get better at jiu-jitsu, get better at competing, get better and work on your cardio, strength and conditioning, everything. Like, if you don't want to feel that way, make sure you don't feel that way in the future.